Hey guys, it's Grand Admiral Thrawn, and I kind of realized something. When I did my K2SO Black Series review, I said I would do the Rogue One members next, but I kind of just didn't. I kind of just made random videos and didn't do any other members. So I'm gonna try and make an effort to actually make the rest of the Rogue One members. And today I'm reviewing Baze Malbus, one of the two Guardians of the Wills from Rogue One. Now, right out of the gate, one thing that I really like about this figure is that this is the older version, yet the face still looks very accurate and detailed, so that's amazing. There are only actually two problems I have with this figure. Two. That's it, only two. So that can tell you right out of the gate that this is either a good figure or it's a figure that could have been amazing. And I'd still say it's a good figure. It's just these two problems are... Well, I guess that's a sign I should talk about the one issue. The one issue is his back thing that holds that's part of his gun weighs the figure down, so he doesn't stand up that good. He kind of falls over because he's weighed down. To be fair, though, that's not really something they could do. It's either that or he doesn't have the thing, and I'd rather he falls over a lot than he doesn't have his thing that is a major part of his character, the guy with the gun that never runs out of ammo because his gun is powered by a kyber crystal. Yeah, that's why his gun never runs out of ammo. Anywho, the other issue I have with this figure also relates to his gun, but I'll get to that momentarily. So yeah, this figure, he looks just like him. Baze is one of my, I wouldn't say he's one of my favorite members from Rogue One, K2 was, but he's definitely one that I like. He's got his moments. Him and Shuri have good interactions together. And yeah, I'm really glad that when they made the Black Series figure, he looks just like him. For example, he's got his leg armor. He's got his kind of like chest armor that also holds his backpack, his gun thing on him. I'm just going to call it the gun thing. And then they even included his little cape thing. Like he's got half a cape. It's not cloth, but that's not an issue because with some characters, they can do it like this. With others, for example, Mando, it doesn't really work like that, since Mando had a jetpack. This, however, does work, so I'm glad they did it that way. He's also got his shoulder thing. All of the stuff on this figure is accurate. It looks like him. He's got good posability apart from that he falls over. So the only other issue I have with the figure really is this. You can't lift his gun that high up because it's... And if you can, it doesn't really look that good. It looks kind of weird, for example. Like, it doesn't look right. This may look long here for his gun to connect to it. It's actually not. It doesn't bend the best, and you can't really pose him that well holding his gun. You cannot actually make him hold his gun with both hands without it popping out or something. Oh, hang on. Yeah, and for example, look, the gun's already popped out of his hands because of that. So that's a big issue, that you can barely have the figure hold his hands. Hold his own gun. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue. Other than that, they got all the great detailing and everything. I think that was handled very well. This is removable, which is a cool feature for like when him and Chirrut and Cassian were in Saw Gerrera's jail. He didn't have it on him. So that's a good feature. It's connected like this. You just simply attach this into here like that, which is pretty good. A lot of the Rogue One characters, when they came out, they didn't sell very well. They're what Black Series collectors call a peg warmer, which means that it doesn't sell and it fills up the pegs, meaning that no other character gets put on the stock. And until these ones sell, which they never do, you don't restock any other figures. So they're called a peg warmer. Anyway, yeah, Baze is a great figure, I think, apart from those two issues, which aren't even that big. The figure looks very accurate, even though this was like a really old Black Series. Like, they did release him, and that one looks a little bit like more photorealistic, but I still think this one's pretty good. Anywho, now for the box. The box on this figure has a good image. It's one that I think was used on the poster. On the back, it tells you a little about Baze Malbus. On the side, it actually has his name. Well, yeah, it does. It has Baze Baze. Anyway, like I was saying on the back, it's got a bit of information about him. Not very much. It's like 2 or 3 sentences. Kind of basic. And then he is number 37 of the red box wave. And yeah, I think this is a good figure. It's got its issues, but overall, I'd say it's pretty good. Here, I'm just going to not have him hold his gun. The belt, surprisingly, with most Black Series figures, if they come with like a belt or something, the belt is just too big and it wobbles around all the time. They didn't actually do that with this figure, so pat yourselves on the back for this figure, Hasbro, because the belt does not wobble. It looks very much like Baze from Rogue One, and I feel like I've said that a lot, but it's very true. Like, with K2 still holds up to the point that I believe that the remake is just the original one remade, okay? They didn't make any changes apart from the box. Baze, however, they did obviously make changes for, but with him, I don't think they are definitely needed. I don't know if the newer one gives you more length for his gun so that he can actually hold it or not, but I hope it does. Anyway, time for my final thoughts. Yeah, the figure has those 2 issues, but it also has a ton of advantages considering it's one of the original Black Series. Well, not original, but it's one of the older ones, so it holds up pretty good for its time. I do believe you'd have better chances finding the newer one than the older one. So if you see that one, it's slightly better than this one, but this one is still really good. And I believe it's a... I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. It's still really good. It's just, it falls over a lot, and the gun, you can barely move it up. So that's lacking in 2 things, like posability, which is a main thing with Black Series. You're already lacking that. So yeah, that's kind of a big draw. It does look like the figure, though, so it's still very good. It's held up a lot for its time. 8 out of 10. And let me know down in the comments what Rogue One member you want me to do next. This is Grand Admiral Thrawn signing off, and I look forward to our next encounter in my next video.